Imagine two children walking into the same classroom on the first day of school. The teacher asks a simple question. One child immediately raises her hand, even if she's not completely sure of the answer. The other looks down at the desk, hoping not to be called on. Years later, the first child confidently speaks in meetings, starts new projects, and isn't afraid to try. The second child often doubts themselves, hesitates, and worries about making mistakes. What happened? Were they simply born that way? Or did something much deeper shape their confidence long before anyone noticed? Most people believe confidence is a personality trait. Some children are naturally confident, while others are naturally shy. But child psychology tells a very different story. Confidence is not something children are born with, it's something they build, and surprisingly, it starts much earlier than most parents realize. Let's begin with a little boy named Ethan. When Ethan was 3 years old, he loved trying new things. One day he decided he wanted to pour his own juice. His mother watched as he carefully lifted the heavy carton. Juice spilled across the table and onto the floor. Many parents might react instantly. "No, let me do it. You're making a mess. You're too little." But Ethan's mother did something different. She smiled. Then she handed him a towel. "It's okay," she said. "Let's clean it up together." The next day, Ethan tried again, and spilled again, and again. But each time, he learned. Eventually, he poured perfectly. What seems like a small moment was actually teaching something powerful. Ethan wasn't learning how to pour juice. He was learning that mistakes weren't dangerous. He was learning that failure wasn't the end. He was learning confidence. Now let's compare Ethan's story to another child named Noah. Noah was loved deeply by his parents. They wanted the best for him. Whenever he struggled with a puzzle, they solved it for him. Whenever he climbed too high, they pulled him down. Whenever he made a mistake, they rushed to prevent it. Their intentions were good. But over time, Noah learned a hidden lesson. He learned that adults didn't believe he could handle challenges on his own. Without realizing it, he began to believe it too. Years later, when faced with difficult tasks, Noah often waited for help before even trying. Not because he lacked intelligence, because he lacked belief in his own ability. This is one of the biggest discoveries in developmental psychology. Children develop confidence not from success alone. They develop confidence from overcoming challenges. Every time a child solves a problem independently, their brain records evidence. I can do hard things. That evidence becomes the foundation of confidence, but the story goes even deeper. Researchers discovered that the way adults respond to mistakes can dramatically shape a child's future mindset. Imagine a young girl named Mia. She comes home with a math test. She scored 70%. Her father looks disappointed. "You should have done better." Mia immediately feels like her worth is connected to her performance. Now imagine another father responding differently. "You worked hard. Let's figure out what confused you and improve together." The same score. A completely different lesson. One child learns that mistakes make her less valuable. The other learns that mistakes are part of growth. Over time, these messages become internal beliefs, and internal beliefs become identity. Here's something fascinating. Psychologists call this a growth mindset. Children who believe abilities can improve through effort become more resilient. They recover faster from setbacks. They take more risks. They persist longer. Children who believe abilities are fixed often avoid challenges because failure feels like proof they aren't good enough. And this leads us to an important question. If confidence is built through experiences, why do some children who receive love and support still struggle with confidence? The answer might surprise you. Because confidence and comfort are not the same thing. Many adults accidentally create comfortable children instead of confident children. Comfort means removing obstacles. Confidence means teaching children they can overcome obstacles. Those are completely different outcomes. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. A parent who never lets go of the seat keeps the child comfortable. A parent who gradually releases their grip teaches confidence. The child may wobble, the child may fall, the child may cry. But eventually, the child discovers something unforgettable. I can do this myself. That realization changes everything. And there's another factor most people overlook. The voice children hear most often eventually becomes their own inner voice. A boy constantly hearing, "Be careful, don't mess up, that's too hard for you," may eventually repeat those words inside his own mind. A girl who hears, "I believe in you, give it a try, you can figure this out," begins developing a completely different internal dialogue. Years later, that inner voice often determines how they approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities. In many ways, confidence is simply the accumulation of thousands of small messages children receive every day. Now let's talk about something that seems unrelated but plays a huge role: connection. Studies consistently show that children build stronger confidence when they feel securely connected to caregivers. At first, this sounds backwards. Wouldn't independence create confidence? Actually, secure attachment creates the foundation for independence. Imagine a child standing on a playground. When they know a trusted adult is nearby, they feel safe enough to explore. That safety becomes a launching pad. The stronger the emotional foundation, the farther children often venture into the world. It's similar to a tree. The deeper the roots, the higher the branches can grow. Confident children aren't fearless. They simply know they have a safe place to return when things become difficult. But perhaps the biggest confidence killer isn't failure, it's comparison. Today, children are exposed to constant comparisons. Who runs faster? Who gets better grades? Who looks better? Who wins more often? Comparison teaches children to measure their worth against others. Confidence teaches children to measure growth against themselves. The difference is enormous. One creates anxiety, the other creates progress. A child who improves from yesterday is succeeding, even if someone else performs better. When children understand this, they stop chasing perfection. They start chasing growth, and that's where genuine confidence begins. Let's return to the classroom where we started. The confident child who raised her hand wasn't necessarily smarter. She wasn't necessarily more talented. She had simply accumulated more evidence that mistakes were survivable, challenges were manageable, and effort was worthwhile. The child who stayed quiet wasn't doomed. Confidence isn't fixed. It can be built at any age. Every encouraging conversation helps. Every opportunity to solve problems independently helps. Every moment a child learns that mistakes are stepping stones rather than dead ends helps. Confidence grows slowly. One challenge, one success, one recovered failure at a time. The remarkable truth is that confidence isn't about teaching children to believe they'll always succeed. It's about teaching them they'll be okay even when they don't. Because the most confident children aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who learn they can get back up. And that lesson may be one of the greatest gifts any adult can give a child. And if this video taught you something new, don't forget to like and subscribe to Dr. Tiny Minds Academy for more science-backed child psychology and parenting insights.